Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Perspective. We'll be talking about the political situation as far as the PPP and the PML N is concerned, of course, with regard to the budget in particular. The criticism that we've seen over time, of course, is also criticism that has been mounting from the opposition in the shape of PTI-led the Sunni Ittihad Council. We've heard remarks come from there also. We'll be talking about the ramifications overall of this kind of political critique that is coming. And of course, today we heard Bilawal Zardari's address also on Shaheed Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto's birthday and its celebration. And of course, he talked about the contribution of Sindh at this time to for the people of Sindh, what People's Party is serving the people there, the measures that it is going to take with a view to facilitating the people of Sindh in particular. He also, of course, talked about Shaheed Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto and the fact that this is a continuation of her policies. All of that today on Perspective. I have with me Naveed Aman, who is Senior Analyst. Thank you for being with us today. We also have with us Zahid Gishkori, who's a Senior Journalist. Thank you for joining us. And Ali Rashid, who is with the PPP. Thank you for being with us today. Before I go to the studio, let me start with Ali Rashid. Ali, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Ali, you were present, I believe, at the Jalsa in Karachi, which was,
yes,
of course, the Chairman Bilawal Zardari was speaking today. What is your, of course, it's Shaheed Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto's birthday, but as far as the PPP is concerned, we've also seen criticism come on the policies vis-a-vis the budget at this time. What would you say to that?
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, I was just there at the birthday of Shaheed Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto, and Chairman Bilawal Zardari Sahab was also there. You see, the thing is, when it comes to the budget, there are two things which we were concerned about. One was the budget in general, which was presented, and also the fact that it was presented without consulting us. We are part of the government, we're part of the coalition. It is because of People's Party, there's a federal government of PML N right now. Goes without saying, right? Although we have constitutional positions, but we are, it is because of our support, the government's there. So I don't think it was like, much to ask for, to have some discussions, deliberations, and, some feedback from us also. And a lot of people are like, now PML N is busy in, pacifying People's Party and making it okay with them. So I say, why even come to that point? Why not, earlier, just, we could have, we have a lot of experienced people in our party, a lot of economists, a lot of people good with the finance. So we could have given some really good suggestions when it comes to the budget. Now they're coming to us that they want to approve it, and they're saying, okay, now give us your whatever, if you want to make any changes.
But Zahid Saab, isn't it true that, before I go to Zahid Saab, Ali, isn't it true that PPP is not a part of, of course you do have constitutional positions, but you chose not to take, any of the cabinet positions. Does that change things for you? Do you think that you should still have been part of the consultative process, even though you are not part of the cabinet at this time?
Absolutely. You're very right, and we're not part of the cabinet. But that being said, I'm saying it was, when it comes to any decision making, when it comes to the government in general, not in isolation of any particular ministry, but when it comes, when it comes to decision making regarding, say, the national security, let it be the budget, let it be something which is concerning and which matters to the entire country. So we had this understanding with the PML N that in isolation, we're not interested in any cabinet position or in any running any ministry. But when it comes to the national interest and greater issues like the budget, or maybe national security, or anything to do like load shedding, etc., power, security, the Interior Ministry. So we do on and off speak to the government, and they are in consultation. We do give our feedback, and we were under the impression that we will be taken in confidence.
Okay, fair
We're
enough.
not obviously, yeah.
Let me include Zahid Saab in the discussion also. Gee, Zahid Saab, how would you respond to this? As far as the role of the PPP is concerned, we have seen that as far as the PPP is concerned, earlier on there was this, the fact that they're not part of the cabinet positions. According to Ali, he says that, that doesn't mean that they will not be part of the main, issues as far as governance is concerned, or as, what would matter to the people with regard to, for example, of course, budget is an extremely important part of governance. How do you look at this as a journalist?
First of all, thank you very much, Maruk. As you know, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari was addressing a huge gathering. I was just reading a book of Benazir Bhutto, Pakistan, The Gathering Storm. So, with this connotation that Pakistan People's Party remains a major beneficiary in the past 7 months, particularly in the second tenure of PTM. The cluster of political parties which remain the beneficiary of the system, Pakistan People's Party remain the primer. The reason is certain and loud and clear because Pakistan People's Party wants some glory back in the Punjab. They put these concerns before the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, before the PML N top leadership, number one. Secondly, Pakistan People's Party wants major uh, benefit through Pakistan Sustainable Development Programs and Pakistan Development, the PSDP programs, by taking more funds for the development projects in the province of Sindh. So it's their right, we understand, but the people of Pakistan, by and large, understand that PMLN has been forcing PPP to join the cabinet, to take the responsibility, to take the criticism, as the people of Pakistan have been doing on the government due to load shedding, due to power issues like, hike and the
You're
so
saying
many,
that
uh,
you're saying that the
there are
priorities
so
of
many issues.
you're saying that the priorities of at this time there are too many issues are different.
In the province of Sindh, they are ruling the government. They have their governors everywhere in Pakistan. They are part of the government, but they are not going to take the responsibilities. What exactly the bashing being received by PMLN? This is the political gain. PPP is doing that. Even PMLN was ready, according to my sources, that even Pakistan People's Party can take the prime ministership even. But they are not ready to take it because they understand that the government is quite uh, weak and they cannot take powerful decisions. So, in by and large opinion, it is considered that Pakistan People's Party playing politically is scored much better as compared to any other political party, and
Right,
that's
fair
why
enough.
its reason
Let
and
me
all
go to
is
Naveed
very
Saab
loud.
here. Let me come back to you. Gee, Zahid Saab, do you agree with what Zahid Saab is saying? Naveed Saab, there is, for as far as the people are concerned, of course, the priorities are different.
Yes, it is true, but it has one advantage and one disadvantage.
Okay.
People's Party, when criticizing being the part of the government on PMLN, it has one advantage, and that is to keep the government of PMLN on a right track. It's a blessing for the government, and in democracy, it happens. It's fair enough. Even then, any criticism from within PMLN against the party should be welcomed within democratic system. It happens. It should be very much appreciated. Number one, but disadvantage is this, that when People's Party criticizes on PMLN or the decisions of PMLN, PTI or Sunni Ittihad Council or the leadership of Sunni Ittihad Council gets that strength or encouragement from that behavior which People's Party
You're saying that if there are frictures between the PPP and the PMLN, they will give some kind of, air to the opposition also.
Yes, it is. But you know, in such a situation, when the coalition government works in any part of the world, it happens. It's not new. It is a part of coalition government style. Even in India or anywhere else, whenever you find any coalition government, you find such sort of attitude from the political parties, because People's Party is not only opponent of PTI or Sunni Ittihad Council, it is also political opponent of PML N also. Even then, they are the part of the government, but even then, they are political opponents, and they take maximum votes from their constituencies against each other. So it's all normal. But one thing which is very important, that is the agreement between the People's Party leadership and PMLN leadership on the budget matters is now met, and I think within a few days they will be, the matter will be amicably resolved and the budget will be passed on.
Let me go to Ali. Do you think that there is a chance that your party will, after this consultation, or if these issues or these reservations are dealt with suitably by the PMLN or by the government at this time, become a part of governance as far as cabinet positions are concerned?
I think so far the position which we have is that we are not going ahead and joining the government, as in we won't be taking any position in the cabinet. And I think this was in the meeting today which Chairman Bilawal Shahbaz had with Shehbaz Sharif. I think he clearly stated that we are not interested in that. We won't be going ahead with that. Secondly, coming back to that earlier point which we were discussing, look, the thing is, there are many things we don't expect, since we're not part of the cabinet, we may not expect to day-to-day running of the government to have a discussion on it or to take us in confidence, but especially the budget where they require our vote, we just wanted them to take us in confidence, let us know what they were doing, and it was something which rightfully so, we were not too happy about. And if, like you said, if things, whatever our reservations are addressed, and if things can be amended and can be looked at, then definitely we don't want a deadlock. Obviously, amicably, as the earlier speaker was speaking, we do want to amicably resolve issues. We are democratic people. We want the smooth sailing for the sake of this country. We want the government to do well, and we want things to move forward.
But Ali, is there anything specific as far as the PPP is concerned that they object to? Because we've seen the kind of criticism that has come from Umar, the opposition leader, from the PTI-led Sunni Ittihad Council, and it's been quite. There's a lot of measures that they feel. There are a lot of issues that they feel they've taken up with the budget at this time. Do you also, the PPP, does it also have the same reservations with regard to people, with regard to price, with regard to increases, or are your reservations just of a consultative nature that on principle, like you are saying, the PPP should perhaps have been consulted because you are very much coalition partners and you do have an important position in that regard?
It's a bit of both. It's two-pronged. One, the way it was dealt with, I feel that we should have been consulted with, and also the fact the budget which is presented, we feel there are a lot of things which could have been worked on, which could have been better. Salary class, we feel is being taxed too much, and we feel there's some good things also. I won't just write it off and say that's not, it's a very bad budget, but there are things which we feel if we were consulted, we could have advised them better, and with consensus we could have moved forward. And yeah.
Fair enough, Ali, fair enough. I'm going to go to Zahid Saab. Zahid Saab, do you think it's also, in your opinion, do you think this is, as far as politicking is concerned, certainly we know that, that is also a part of the parliamentary style of governance. Do you think that there is a chance that we can perhaps have, this may lead to the PPP joining the business of running government? And of course, we have, and like Ali said, there is, Bilawal Shahbaz has said that no, they're not going to do it. But do you think that perhaps the table is being set for that in the future? As a journalist, how would you look at it?
I I think Pakistan People's Party is a very mature political party. As Ali Rashid was saying, no doubt that it wants to run the affairs in a way exactly what the people of Pakistan need for, and there were some concerns of Pakistan People's Party. As I know that the major taxes on the salary class and different other development projects as well, and they were giving their very potential output and input on all these issues, and they want government to take it seriously. Perhaps the government put extra burden on salary class, and Pakistan People's Party has a tradition and history. If you just go through their realm and affairs, they have been supporting salary class ever, and this perhaps one of the prime reasons that they expressed their concern to force the government to review its decision, at least to ease the burden of taxing salary class. But on the
लेकिन
other
जी continue please.
coincidence.
जी जी.
On the other hand, it's mere coincidence, Maruf, that Pakistan People's Party is in a commanding position and have such a number and trump card that no political party in Pakistan cannot run its affairs without taking support of Pakistan People's Party. Anytime the center of power house in Pakistan right now is President House. Mr. Asif Ali Zardari. He can ask any time to the Prime Minister to take vote of confidence, and it means that Pakistan People's Party, if it does not support the system, it does not support Mr. Meek Noon or PGM government, then uh, obviously it would be a great challenge. And on the other hand, the PTI, the Sunni Ittihad Council, unfortunately, Pakistan People's Party can't trust them. And I don't see that they would sit together at one stage of time, be farming out a policy and talking out that who could be the new prime minister. It's far-sighted. I don't see any way in their future. But yes, Pakistan People's Party, as a political party, wants to regain its glory in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, in Punjab, and in the center as well, because this party is hoping that perhaps the after 4 year or 5 year, maybe the next term, there is a prime opportunity for the party to uh, avail this all luck, avail this number and trump card to converting into a next government for the Pakistan People's Party, but this is a very longer perspective. But the country need exactly to engage all political party to sit together. Even there was talks about mm, discussion with PTI, the opposition political party, but I don't see. I have been discussing in.
I want to come to that. I want to talk more about that. Naveed sir, what about the criticism that has come from Umar Ayub, the opposition leader? He's been very, he's called it, he said that it's a lot of accusations have been made. He's also said that government's financial policies are flawed, that there are a lot of criticism to what. Do you think that in that kind of wake of that kind of criticism, there's a chance that there can be some talk or sitting together? Because to and fro has been happening and they keep going back on that.
I don't think there will be any chance of having of carrying on that sort of discussions or dialogue between PTI or Sunni Ittihad Council or PML N. It's just accusations, and I mean it's very normal when opposition parties face that sort of budget. They always criticize. In past, it has been happening, and today even it is happening. One thing which is important as far as People's Party's role is concerned, whenever People's Party opposes PML N, it also gestures PTI or Sunni Ittihad Council that in future, if there is any possibility of joining hands, People's Party will be feeling comfortable with even Sunni Ittihad Council to form the government. It is a gesture, and it will remain a continuous threat to PML N government or PML N or Shehbaz Sharif Saab. And this way, People's Party will continue
to have power.
to have that sort of advantage.
I think Ali, I would like to ask Ali this. Ali, do you think that it's true that of course you also, I think, said as much that PPP has a unique position in terms of power at this time in parliamentary politics, in the sense that of course you can choose to go another way, and there is always that option with regard to the opposition in the form, the kind of opposition at this time that we have. As far as Sunni Ittihad Council and PTI-led Sunni Ittihad Council is concerned. Do you think that, if you disagree with the policies to that extent, that door will remain open?
Sorry, I didn't get the last part.
I'm saying that as far as the PTI-led Sunni Ittihad Council is concerned, that's a very real opposition, in the sense it's a vociferous one. And they're openly criticizing the government. And if there is some agreement, a disagreement to that extent, there is always that door open to the PPP. There's no denying that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Options are always there, and I feel that Sunni Ittihad Council also, Umar Ayub, look, his job as opposition leader is to criticize whatever the government is doing. So him criticizing the budget is a separate story, but the fact that he actually pointed out the method, the way it was tabled, even in Parliament, in the Assembly, is not how it should have been. So I'm on board with that. I do understand, the way you print out the budget and then it's laid on, the tables of the Parliament, and then the members have time to read it and, go over it, and then, that's how you actually determine if you want to debate about it, if there are some points which you don't like about it. That was not given, that procedure was not followed, which he rightly pointed out. But when it comes to, I think obviously he went a bit overboard in saying that the budget was it was a bad budget and it was fraud and it is this and that. Well, that's his job, right? As an opposition leader, he'll never say it's a good budget, or he'll never say that some parts are good and some are. He'll never highlight the good points. But I'm saying that there are some things which do need work, and we would have really been happy to extend our expertise. And with consensus, without a deadlock, you see any political uncertainty when it comes in the country, it's bad for investment. It's bad. The business community gets really worried and anxious. You see the backlash of that on the stock market. Investors get a bit confused. So when you have such a good working relation, like we do with the PMLN, we've given them an open hand. I mean, when we haven't even asked for any cabinet positions or anything. When we are working with you, yeah, and we're not even interfering into the day-to-day running of the country as since we're not part of the coalition government, we're not part of the cabinet. But yeah, but when it comes to like major decision making which will affect the public, and especially when you need our vote for something, we do want to be taken on board and we do want to discuss it. Yeah.
Fair enough. Zahid sir, do you see some of the measures that have, some of the taxes, for example, that are being criticized by the PPP, some of, the provisions with regard to some of the measures with regard to the budget, perhaps being done away with?
I think, Maruf, for the, can you hear me? I think, Maruf, Pakistan People's Party, being a seasoned party, should join a federal cabinet to take the responsibility to not only guide the government but also PMLN need the support, need this system support, which actually the system as supporting Pakistan People's Party, and Pakistan People's Party being part of cabinet can convince more as compared to right now that they are supporting the center. They support Pakistan People Party supported PMLN to form the government in the center, but the government is quite weak and government cannot take the decision. Even the federal government on certain issues like privatization, now the issue of electricity, the fixing its price, overbilling, and the huge problem to fixing the economy, and the back-to-back visit of Pakistan Prime Minister to UAE to Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and then the China visit, we have yet to see the productive outcome of these visits. And if there be a Bilawal Bhutto Zardari over at Foreign Minister's office, there could be a certain support from the party, but obviously it's their politics. We understand that party would do what exactly it thinks it can deliver better for the public, for the provinces, they form the government, and what their future political strategy could be. But exactly what needs in the center is that, you know, the discussion on the budget is going on in the parliament. Today I was in the parliament. Since the budget presented before the parliament, as Ali Rashid was saying, that there were many questions on the procedure, on the discussions and pre-budget discussions, how to prepare the ministry's budget and the share of PSDP and the provinces. Yes, there was a National Economic Committee meetings headed by the Prime Minister a day before uh, budget was presented. It's a good idea that all chief ministers were over here and they discussed the development program for the provinces. And after that, the budget was laid down in the parliament. But we want to see, the public want to see exactly what relief they are getting under the leadership of PDM government. This is the problem, and that because Pakistan People's Party, a part of this government, now the voter understand, the people understand that this all political parties, cluster of political parties, running the government affairs in the center, they all are responsible. Either they are getting relief or not. But this time, this bombardment of taxes on the public, its impact would would be seen by the public after July 1st, and it's a tsunami of taxes. I'm telling you that either the government, with the help of Pakistan People's Party and other political parties and the Senate of Pakistan and the member uh, uh, national assemblies, would be convincing the government, would be convincing the finance minister and the prime minister and obviously the allies parties to review some sort of taxes which could not at least affect the poor people uh, living across the country to run their day-to-day affairs, and at least, as you know, that the inflation rate comes down. It's true that, but I certainly see this that the government decrease and cut down the petrol prices and then increase the electricity prices. So the inflation ratio could go up, and I'm sure it would go up because the new taxation is bringing its impact even bigger than we think. I'm sure, but the issue is that all political parties are responsible for that, and they should uh, discuss it. And they have
And
seven
there's
states.
also and there's also the the school of thought which I think you're also agreeing with, that if the PPP is part of government in the sense that they are part of the coalition, then they perhaps should be taking ownership of the government's policies also. Ali, is it, that's one school of thought, right?
Well, yeah, so we absolutely take ownership of all the policies of the government. But when it comes to the budget, when it comes to other things, if we consulted, then we'll also take responsibility for that. And it's our response. And we also feel that it's our responsibility. The burden is on our shoulders to give relief to the public, because tomorrow the public will ask us, you may not have been in the cabinet, but still you were the reason these guys are in power. Why didn't you raise your voice? Why didn't you say, at least we want to register our protest that this is not the way to uh, conduct matters. So
I
yeah.
want to
Maruf, I will continue.
Ji Naveed
Mr.
sir, I
Rashid
want to
and,
move on to the second segment. Ji, please.
and Mr. Zahid.
Ji.
People's Party is not the part of the government, but it's a part of the government at the same time. It's not ready to take any responsibility or feel any burden, but wants to be consulted by the government.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to be consulted, you need to be the part of the government, and you also share that burden which any government feels or have. I mean, this is a double game.
Fair enough.
At the one stage, if you want to be consulted, you need to be the part of the government, and you need to come out and say that yes, we are in the government and we will share that burden which the government will feel or continue feeling throughout the tenure.
Fair enough. I want to move on to the second part of the segment, which, you know, we've seen what's happening as far as the KP is concerned. There's been a lot of protesting as far as overbilling on electricity bills is concerned. There's also, you know, people in KP have expressed their frustration with regard to unreliable power supply, and it seems to be a widespread issue as far as non-payment is concerned. We've also seen the government take it up on, you know, all levels. Zahid Saab, you know, what is your take on what's happening on this very important issue in KP?
Farooq, this is very important, and in the coming days, the situation could be more worse because there are certain reasons. One important reason is that if you take up Pakistan energy crisis, uh, presently the energy crisis is due to power theft everywhere in Pakistan. If you take the map prepared by Pakistan Power Division, and it's a geomapping exact, giving you the accuracy and the certain areas identifying that uh, the where theft is in a huge way. Like PESCO, Peshawar Electric Supply Company, is the worst victim of it. Peshawar is facing huge power theft, more than 30 billion rupees in the Katan, and then the Banu, then the Dera Ismail Khan, and so many districts. If you have a comparative study of all Pakistan districts, you would find the major power theft in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And obviously, Balochistan is where 71% people either don't pay electricity bills or they are defaulter. 71%. Only recovery is around 29%. But Balochistan, the whole province consumes even less electricity as compared to whole the city of Lahore. So the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is a reasonably thickly populated province. So the chief minister, who is the head of the government, uh, I understand that he might have certain political concern, differences, and this leadership, obviously in the jail, and certain reason to show the political muscle. But he should understand that he is the head of the government. He is supposed to run all the affairs of the province, to take the province out of liabilities, to take the province to out of all the crises people are facing, to give him maximum relief to the people. And if he himself is going to cut down the power line, and he is going to fight and joining people protest, symbolically it's good, but practically it's giving a very wrong message. Even these protests could trigger in a bad way, which could even create problem for other provinces as well, even create a mess for Pakistan electric supply and distribution companies. So it's a very strange enough, obviously, but it had been seen in 110 days that the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province cannot convince the center on certain issues, because the center is even in back-to-back meetings, in different top-level meetings where the Prime Minister and the Cabinet meetings, the province engaging all chief ministers of the provinces. That's so good. Certainly, message is giving very positive. But on the other hand, even the message from the Chief Minister is seen as not engaging the center on certain important issues where center, the federal government could support the province to dealing with the bureaucracy, like land order situation, engaging police, the Inspector General Police, the Chief Secretary, and the share of NFC award, even the money center is supposed to sorry, give to the provinces. He could not convince the center. But I don't know the
I think
reason.
that's a very important. I think that's a very important part of it also. Naveed Saab, do you think that, you know, engaging with the center has been an issue with regard to the PTI-led, you know, of course, Sunni Ittihad Council, and the fact that, you know, of course, we have KP CM, who is very much known for his anti government, remarks at times. Do you think that's also
Anti-center or anti,
is, and of course, his liaison with the center is extremely important in terms of the center and the province being on one page with regard to core issues. Do you think that's also a part of it?
Definitely, Maruk. The style of KPK's CM, the political style, it doesn't suit to the province, the development of the province. Within over 100 days, he has delivered nothing to the provincial government of KPK. As far as CM Punjab is concerned or CM Sindh is concerned, even their performances are far better than the performance of CM KPK. He is not engaging himself or his party or as a province leader to the center. He will have to engage himself with the center so that there should be a working relationship between center and the provincial government, and it will benefit the provincial government as well. With this, high-headed style of governance, he cannot deliver. And if he cannot deliver, he will definitely, ultimately, he will damage PTI government during the next 5 years. Where will PTI government stand in KPK? It will be, damaging PTI government in their stronghold in KPK.
Fair enough. Ali, do you think that there can be a policy intervention on this issue? Because of course it's creating a lot of mayhem. There is, this is something that of course the center is cognizant also of as far as power theft is concerned, a host of other issues is concerned. And now that we are seeing this become an issue, to this level in KP, do you think that there's a chance that there can be policy intervention?
Yeah, I think there's a good chance that there can be and there should be, I think, because you see, this issue is not just in KP, it's everywhere, it's all over Pakistan. And it's unfortunate that Gandapur is trying to politicize it, trying to give it a provincial, color, and it's a national issue. We have this issue going on across Pakistan. There's load shedding in my constituency in Korangi. There's load shedding in Karachi. There's a lot of load shedding in Tier Sindh, Punjab. It's across Pakistan. All the stakeholders need to sit down together and resolve the issues. And you see, it's so unfortunate that I think Gandapur is following a script where, just to please the people of the province or his party workers or maybe his leader, he will give really, unsuitable statements for a chief minister. The kind of language he uses, the kind of threats he makes. He thinks he's in some kind of Maula Jat kind of role he's playing in some Pakistani cinema or something. But he should also consult. He can, the kind of, we've heard the kind of behavior he has in meetings is totally different from the kind of behavior he has on TV channels. Because if this is, and he's a top tier leader of PTI, and if this is how he's going to behave, causing more polarization in the country, because the people of KP will start thinking that we are being isolated, we are being mistreated, which is not the case. There are, they're not being singled out. There are issues. This country is facing a lot of issues.
Fair enough. Gee, Zahid Saab, according to Ali, he's saying that, this is essentially an issue for the whole of the country, and it's been given a political color by the PTI leadership in KP. How would you respond to that?
Obviously, I agree to Ali that he has the right to do politics, but certainly the province is facing huge challenge on many fronts. If you see the recent happenings of land order in the province, his own district is at number 2, even though in the past 2 months, the worst victim of violence is Dera Ismail Khan, which is having more than 300 terrorist attacks in a year. And it's a new hub for militant organizations. And obviously, his priority should be like that to deal with such situation. And he can't do this by, otherwise engaging the federal government, because the land order situation and the other part he made a tall claim that he is going to procure the wheat from the province of Punjab, and the recent data shared by the federal government before the parliament that even province did not procure the wheat from the province. And so there are tall claims and rhetorics and political slogans. I understand that where the Punjab government did not procure the wheat from the farmer, its impact would go high. I'm sure it's a political impact as well. But certainly focusing on the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. The other thing is the province, the debt in the province is piling up and up because the third consecutive term of the PTI government in the province. Can you count a number of mega projects except the Peshawar Metro project? Are the
I'm running out of time. Naveed Saab, your quick comments on the situation. You agree with what Zahid Saab is saying, that of course it shouldn't be given and Ali also, that of course there are issues, and as a country we must try to deal with them without giving them a political color just for the sake of it, of course.
Yes, it is. We need not give political colors to such issues. We need to resolve either on the center or in the provincial governments. Gandapur Sahib is not delivering for PTI in KPK. He has competition with the Punjab government. But as far as Punjab government is concerned, Punjab government was led by CM Punjab is delivering far better than any other province. And you know, in such a situation, when you are doing nothing, how can you combat Punjab government or PML N in center or in province? So you need to deliver.
Fair enough.
Just to satisfy your voters in KPK and to your leaders as well.
Right, fair enough. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for joining us. Muhammad Ali Rashid, thank you for being with us. Zahid Gishkori Saab, thank you for joining us. Naveed Aman Saab, thank you for being with us today. Of course, as far as the issue itself is concerned, it is an issue that confronts Pakistan on a national level also, as far as combating power theft is concerned, and far as ensuring that there are no leakages, and to come down on this issue, of course, remains the government's first priority on a national level, of course, having taken it up on every level. But of course, it shouldn't be given a political color for political objectives at the cost of national interest. That, of course, is something that I think we can all agree with. Thank you so much for joining us today.